Hello everybody, I'm the LightningTurk and welcome back to another role-playing round. This role-playing round has not started yet, however, it is 1793 onwards, the failed revolution. This role-playing round will be based around an alternate history in which the American Revolution fails and the British Empire essentially become overpowered within the American continent. I have a few players with me right now. I've got Chris Green, I've got Chris... Oh crap,
Peter.
he just left. Rip. Alright, so in that case, tell me the lore about it.
The lore is basically the French did not aid the Americans in the revolution because they lost at Saratoga,
Okay.
thus dividing the United States into the southern colonies and the northern colonies.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, like,
Basically it.
that's pretty much it. What's it called? Thanks to this, the British Empire is pretty much OP. It's got 20 provinces. It has 4 vassals, right? Yeah, you have 4 vassals.
Correct.
So essentially you have a more or less province count of around, I want to say, 50? Around 50.
More or less.
Yeah, more or less. 48 to 50 provinces. So it can easily rival the Ottoman Empire. Which it...
Or the Seljuks. Oh, no, wait.
Not in this RP. But yeah, it can easily rival the Ottoman Empire. It can easily push past the Russian Empire. And it's stronger than everything else. But only if its colonies can maintain, what's it called? Communication with the Overlord.
And they will. They shall.
Alright. So yeah, aside from that, we have a bunch of other countries. Since it's a 1793 map, it's got the Kingdom of Prussia, it's got the Electorates of Saxony, Hanover, Bavaria, as well as Italian minors like Savoy, the Papal State, and Venice. There's also Switzerland, because memes, and there is a Netherlands. Aside from that, I guess I'm gonna go over the rules just to describe what they are. So yeah, the lore. This role-playing round is based on the United States of America did not win its war for independence and lost in 1779, directly due to their loss at the Battle of Saratoga. Since France never recognized American independence, they never entered any sort of war with the British Empire, not going into any sort of revolution. And basically, within this roleplay, you're a country at a time of great international tension. The British monolith is to the to the west. I don't know why that says est. There is a growing Russian mass in the east, and then the Ottomans to the south, as well as chaos in Europe. The base rules, as they are in every single role-playing round I've ever created, no gold mark usage. For the time, there is 1 day in game is 6 months within the RP, meaning 2 days is a year.
Just like with Vicky.
Precisely. It's essentially a simplified Vicky. Independence can only be declared once every 25 years, with the first attempt being 1800. Only one vassal may declare independence.
I have one suggestion. Can we change it to like 15 years or something? Because revolutions happen all the time. But my point being is 25 years, I would only be 45 or 50 something. But in this time, it's 50 days. Okay, that's usually a quarter, a third, if not half of an RP round. So I think 50 days is a little much because, I mean, given, okay, say you declared you get your first chance in the 1800s and you're a 6-prov nation, but 10 days later and you're 9-prov nation, you have a much larger army, and you still have to wait another 50 days.
I got you. However, the thing is, what's it called? Everybody's going to be able to declare independence after 1800, at least once. Basically, at most once. Sorry. So it's not just going to be like only, let's say hypothetically, only Romania's trying to break off from the Ottoman Empire. It's going to be Romania's going to try to break off, and then once that is dealt with, Algiers is going to break off or attempt it. It's just going to be a constant country attempt to break off from the empires.
Well, I know you, and you'll just let them go.
Yeah, I'll let them go because that's just how I do things. But other people.
I'll probably
won't.
let them go too eventually, after
Yeah.
King George III dies.
But yeah, if it was an 1800 or like 1850 roleplay, if it was like a Vicky timeline roleplay, then countries would be able to get independence. But if you look at the 1700s, and if you look at like the early 1800s, nobody gained independence.
Well, the only reason I say that is because, like, that's 50 days is just a lot for me. And it's going to take a while to just even get to the 1800s. So, I mean, that's still a good chunk before they can even do it. And then they have to wait until the end of the RP to do it again.
True. I mean, I just wanted to nerf vessels because I hate vassaling. Like, what's it called?
Well,
I want vessels to never break free.
I get that, but I mean, at the same time, with it only being 6 months a day.
True. In that case, I'm just gonna look at it once more. Maybe we'll drop it down. We might.
Or we can do like League of Nations. And,
yeah, that sort of thing would be good too.
Yeah, because there is a colonial national league. That's basically the United Nations.
Oh yeah, yeah, I just noticed that. This is the next thing I was gonna read over. So there will be a Council of Nations that will be called the Colonial National League. The job of the league is to ensure peace between colonies and nations alike. We're gonna do crisis events because that was just fun when we did it the first time. Let's see. The league will have weekly in-character conferences to bring up international issues. You will be required to be in character during the meeting. Pretty fucking straightforward. Forts and capitals can only go up to level 5. All other forts must be level 3 until further notice. That's going to get changed over time. All other tech can be built except airplanes, bombers, railguns, and heavy tanks. Straightforward. The military units list. So infantry is going to be referred to as line infantry, or irregulars in the east, like Russia, or skirmishers in like the Ottoman Empire and like Islamic countries. There's no limit on that. Anybody can make them. And then for cavalry, light cavalry, or camel skirmishers in the Ottoman Empire, again, no limit. Dragoons are armored cars because they're essentially like armored cavalry. There's no limit. Anyone can make them. General. So tanks are going to be your generals because around this time we had the Napoleonic Wars and there were a lot of generals involved. And I feel like it's going to be like a good opportunity for you guys to RP about it. So you can put like a general on top of your armies. There's going to be 1 per province. So basically larger countries.
General?
Huh?
I thought we weren't going to do the revolution of France stuff.
No, we're not going to do the revolution, but like it was that timeline. There were a lot of generals that were really popular. So it wasn't just It wasn't just France that had like Napoleon and like what's it called? I don't remember any of the other generals, so rip. But yeah. I feel like that's
Beauregard
okay.
and Bragg, I think.
Yeah.
A few of them.
Yeah, there you go. I feel like it's
So-
sort of OP, but
We never found anything out about the Prussians, did we?
what do you mean?
Like, decide if we could just make them into the available or backup ones.
Oh no, we did. I'll get to that.
So
yeah, I got you. Field artillery are artillery. 10 per country until further notice. This will be upgraded in time. I'm not going to announce when that's going to happen, but you know what I mean.
Sorry to interrupt.
what's
Someone
up?
just pinged me when you get to talking about that, and I'll pop it back on.
Wait, did someone ping me? Oh, someone pinged you. Okay.
No, well, I mean, you talked about it.
Wait, say again.
Yeah.
Your voice cut off.
You said you'll get to that in a little bit, so just ping me when you do.
Oh, okay. Sure. Anyways, frigates are light cruisers. They're going to be 2 per coastal province. Battleships are first rates. That's going to be 1 per coastal province. This time, you're going to be able to build light cruisers and battleships in the same provinces. So basically, for each province you have that's coastal, you can build 2 light cruisers and 1 battleship instead of one or the other. It just makes more OP navies. Railguns aren't allowed, heavy tanks aren't allowed, air units aren't allowed. Pretty straightforward. War rules. I reserve the right as the RP admin to wipe out rule breakers and role players with gold marked nuclear fire, because I can just do it. I'll nuke you if you break my rules. Up to 3 provinces total can be taken in any peace deal following a war. I feel like that's acceptable. If the capital of a nation is lost, then the war automatically ends. No exceptions. There's no rebellion or anything. War cooldown is 6 years, which is 12 days in game, meaning you cannot attack the same nation for 6 years after that conflict. Peace deals between countries are mandatory, meaning there will be some sort of role-playing of peace agreements. Pretty simple and straightforward.
I think it should be in the colonial league that the piece is made out, because Switzerland said it would be the meeting place, so I agree that that should be the place where it's at.
Yeah, we can always do it in character.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on to great power status and alliance rules. So there are countries called that were great powers in the time. These are countries that are going to be in the top 8 of the index of power in game. So the index of power, as you know, is on the Daily European. It shows which are the strongest countries on the map. This index will change as countries lose and gain strength. Starting great powers are the following and will change every 5 years, as in 10 days, as of the start of the RP round, officially. So the great powers are the British Empire, Russia, France, the Ottomans, Austria, Poland, Lithuania, Prussia, and Spain. All role-played military alliances will last 5 years in game. So essentially, if Spain makes an alliance with Prussia, whenever he does, that alliance will last for 5 years unless they break it off or something. At the end of these 5 years, you are required to RP, like roleplay with that country, to continue the alliance with another treaty of friendship. Like you actually have to like speak to that person and do it in character, or the military alliance will be no longer in effect. This essentially limits countries from metagaming or creating alliances in the beginning of the round and just continuing the same alliances until the end. That's just bullshit. Nations can...
Kind of like with Vicky.
Yeah, pretty much. Essentially, like, ripped straight off of Vicky. Countries can reject a call to arms, but will not be allowed to have another alliance with that same country for 10 years. So, if the Ottomans invade Austria, and Russia's ally to Austria, and Russia says, fuck no, I'm not going to help you, they're allowed to do that. But that means that for the next 10 years, you're not going to be allied to Austria again as Russia. Moving on. Only 2 great powers can be militarily allied to each other at any time. This is straight ripped from Victoria 2. So essentially, since there are 8, it should be... Ideally, it would be 4 alliances of 2 great powers each. Again, this limits metagaming or huge fucking alliances. This must be announced with official role-playing on the Daily European, the newspaper. Great powers can have up to 2 military alliances with non-great power nations. So if you're a big boy like me, if you're the Ottoman Empire, not counting vassals, you can be allied to 2 more small-ass countries. So I could be allied to Morocco and, let's say, Portugal.
Or you could be allied to one of my vassals, right?
No, you can't be allied to a vassal. I'm going to get to that, yeah. If a country drops from great power status, so say Austria loses enough provinces that he's under the top 8. Let's say Portugal gets really tough and he takes provinces from Austria. If he passes him on the index of power, and if Austria gets 9th place while Portugal gets 8th, its diplomatic relations with other great powers will be nullified. So any military alliance a great power will have will no longer be in effect. So Austria will lose its alliance with, like, I don't know, France. And will have to make a different alliance. Everyone who isn't a great power is either a secondary power or a vassal in the round. Secondary powers have certain abilities. Secondary powers can only have 1 military alliance with anyone. So that's what fucks secondary powers up. So Venice can only have 1 alliance with another country. Also, secondary powers can only have 1 vassal country. So, for example, Denmark can only have Norway as a vassal. And it starts out that way. Vassals cannot have military alliances with anyone other than their overlord until they declare independence. So vassals can be allied to each other or the overlord. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the general rules. I didn't really add too much to it because I didn't want it to be overcomplicated.
So basically, if I lose my great power status.
Yep.
But if I gain it back, I could retake my vassals?
Yeah, pretty much. So basically, hypothetically speaking, if you lose your great power status, all of your vassals are going to rebel and gain independence, regardless of what you do. Which really fucks you up, but you're probably not going to lose great power status. Hopefully, you're not going to lose great power status.
You know me as a RP player. I'm new, basically, kinda. I started out in Vicky 3. So
yeah, but you're the one who created this RP idea in your head, and I really do appreciate it. It's a really good RP strategy. Like, what's it called? It's a nice historical theme, but it's in an alternate history setting. So yeah, I hope the RP does well, and I hope we can have a good, what's it called, round. Because I feel like we have a lot of new players. We have essentially just a new generation of role players here. And if we don't fuck it up, they'll be good players. Especially you. Anyways, I pinged that fucker. Chris, my boy. But yeah, what Chris said and what Chris meant was this. Basically, he's currently playing as Prussia, and he wants to eat all of the miners within Germany. Like, for example, Hanover. He wants to fuck up Saxony, and he wants to eat Bavaria. And he's allowed to do that because countries are allowed to be wiped out. However, I've created a list of backup countries. So backup countries are going to be formed if countries get wrecked and die. So say Prussia completely wipes the floor with Saxony, which is Lithuania, by the way. Saxony has the Lithuanian player has the opportunity to choose between Tunis, Tripolitania, Egypt, or Serbia. And all of these are small countries, except Tripoli, basically. So
I still believe that my colonies will come into, basically, the French Americas.
Yeah, they're probably going to invade the French Americas. Anyways, oh shit, I forgot to include, vassals can't declare wars on their own. That's sort of, I fucking forgot
They
that.
They must ask their overlord?
Yeah. The overlord is the one that declares the war formally, and they all just join it.
Okay.
Well,
so,
shit.
in order to do that, I would have to declare war on France.
Yeah. Wait, Chris, what did you say?
I thought you were pinging me, telling me something new.
No, this was what I was gonna say. This is what you asked, wasn't it?
No, I asked if anything changed about it.
Oh no, it's still the same. Like, you can still eat those guys. You can fuck them up, but they're just gonna become something else.
I'm going to eat them regardless, but I was just saying that I feel like it's a waste of time on their part.
But yeah,
Why not just leave Germany as Prussia and just let it become whole?
That's what I'm saying.
Because it's not 1860. If we did an 1860 RP, then I'd allow it.
I get that. I really do. But whenever it starts, the way the rules are, I could literally invade all three at once. And if I invade all three and successfully beat them, they're done in the first day. Which, of course, they can switch over, but that would take time because their troops were in Europe whenever they just got wiped out, possibly. And then they would have to wait until they had more troops from their backup support, and the support would have to go somewhere else. I'm not trying to be a dick or not have to deal with it. I'm just saying on their part, I think it would be better for them that way. They don't have to wait even longer and be further behind.
Oh no, the support countries aren't allowed to produce infantry units or any sort of mechs.
Well, see, I mean, once they get wiped out, but once they're wiped out, if they can't produce troops down there, then they got to build barracks up and wait to build troops.
No, they're not going to need to. Because all of the countries that are formable are going to be in Africa anyways. I'm just going to sell them a province and then sell them an army, and they're just going to take all the provinces there. Boom. country formed.
Yeah.
See? I thought about
That's
that too.
all.
Don't worry about it. I got you.
I still think it's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time, but it just makes stuff more fun for me. 'Cause I'm just
What about Lithuania? Because it's only has one province.
They all have one province.
yeah. The only thing. Okay, so Lithuania is the only country without backup provinces, and Lithuania I'm just
Yeah.
gonna give to a complete noob. And if they fuck it
Well,
up, then rip them. But if they do well,
They're-
maybe they'll have a chance.
They're gonna have a chance with one province.
They're not. It's meant to. So the thing is, in role playing rounds, we always have those players that join the round and then go immediately inactive. So basically,
Yeah,
that's a spot for them.
Yeah, I